This video was brought to you by stntrading.eu. They enhance your trading experience by offering extremely fast automated trading services for both TF2 and CSGO. Check them out in the description below. Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. So today I'm going to be doing another episode of Fashion Fortress, the series that we have going on, where you guys send in your loadouts and I kind of judge them, talk about the improvements you can make, talk about what's good about them, what works, and yeah, basically just what you need to improve on. If you want to send anything into this series, then you can email spikymikeytf2@gmail.com, or you can message me on Twitter at spikymikeyYT. And then there's also a Discord room in my Discord server where you can post your pictures of your loadouts, and you know, that's just an easier way for me to see them. So if you are interested in sending in your loadout, please use one of these three methods. I mean, tweeting them at me on Twitter is good, but I might actually lose them after a while because I do get quite a lot of mentions and stuff on Twitter and a lot of notifications, so I might lose them. So maybe DMing me them on Twitter is a better idea. So here is the first loadout of the episode, and it consists of the Rotation Sensation, the Scotch Saver, and the Pip-Boy. Now, this guy sent me this picture of the loadout and also an SFM, which I will show you guys right now. And honestly, it actually looks like a pretty good loadout. I feel like the Rotation Sensation and the Scotch Saver work really well together. And that's also what this guy said in his email, saying that he bought the Scotch Saver to be a little bit silly and a little bit decent looking, I guess, but he figured it would work really well, and it has worked really well, and he thought it looked really good. He's also using the Pip-Boy just so he can have the different construction PDA hood when he pulls it out. As you know, the Pip-Boy changes the color of it and gives it like a Fallout theme, which looks really, really awesome, and I definitely can't go against the use of a Pip-Boy for that reason. He has said that he doesn't have the money to buy unusuals, as they're kind of like out the picture right now for this loadout. However, that is really the only thing that I can see with this loadout that might be worth improving. The Pip-Boy looks really good. The Scotch Saver and the Rotation Sensation look really, really good together. And I mean, like, I guess if you're trying to stretch everything out, saying that maybe the weapons could do some upgrading or whatever, but that's really the only improvement I can see with this. In my opinion, this loadout actually looks really good and it looks kind of well thought out, and it all just works together really well, and it just looks really, really good. So here is the second loadout which we will be showcasing today. It consists of the Dead Cone, the Pyromancer's Mask, and the Sweet Smithmas Sweater. So initially this loadout was actually going to feature the Brigade Helm instead of the Dead Cone. However, this guy kind of saw that Nate Fox uses that loadout and didn't really want to be called a copy, but decided to go with the Dead Cone instead, and was actually kind of happy with it. And then he just chose the Smithmas Sweater because that's kind of all he had. And this Smithmas Sweater was the only improvement this guy said he would actually want to make, and I can agree with that. Definitely change the Smithmas Sweater to like maybe a Trickster's turnout gear or something like that, or if you can afford it, a Sub-Zero suit, because they're very popular with Pyro. They will look really good with the Pyromancer's Mask, and it would just look much better and suit the loadout much better than, you know, the Smithmas Sweater would. One improvement I would also make to this is possibly change the Dead Cone. I know you might like it, and that's completely fine. If it is something you really don't want to change, then you don't have to. But I would say a Brigade Helm would actually look really good. And I know you said Nate Fox uses this loadout. However, the Brigade Helm and a Trickster's turnout gear on this loadout with the Pyromancer's Mask will look really, really great. But then again, if you don't want to change it, you really don't have to. It's just something I would probably do if I was making a Pyro loadout like this one. He did, however, say later in his email that the Dead Cone was his favourite part, so what I said was pretty much invalid and doesn't really matter. And obviously there's a really big improvement here, and I say it on every loadout that doesn't have an unusual, but get an unusual if you can afford it. I mean, the Dead Cone would probably better suit this loadout if you had an unusual, because they're kind of cheaper, so maybe he's changing it to a Brigade Helm wouldn't be the best idea, or something like that. And you can get unusual Dead Cones for kind of cheap as well, so that would look awesome if you get like a decent effect one, and that would just really pull the whole loadout together and make it look even better than it already does. But other than that, I can't really think of anything else that should be changed, and I do kind of like the way the Pyromancer's mask and the Dead Cone look. It's not my favourite combination of items in the game, but it's definitely not the worst. And, I mean, there could be much worse Pyro loadouts than this one. So good job, and thank you for sending me the loadout. So this loadout I decided to include because it looks wacky and it looks very, very different to a lot of the other loadouts we've seen in these types of videos. However, I'm looking for some help with this loadout, and so is the person who sent it to me. So he said in his email that he wanted to find a good pyro mask which isn't overused. So he doesn't want the Pyromancer's mask, the Last Breath, Apparition's Aspect, etc. And he would like some ideas for that. He also said he does not like the Sub-Zero suit. So that's kind of an issue, considering that's 2 of his items out of the 3 that he doesn't really like. So I don't know, there's going to be some improvements and some changes that have to be made there. One thing I do like about this loadout is that it does have an unusual in it. Molten Mallard is actually a pretty decent effect. However, I am honestly not a big fan of the burning bandana, and I don't think the green in this loadout and with this effect really suits it at all. I mean, that might just be me because I don't like the burning bandana, and that might be slightly biased, but I don't know, for me that doesn't look good. Maybe it would look better if you did change the mask and the Sub-Zero suit, and that would look better eventually once you've changed them. But for now, I don't really think it works that well. But if you really like it, then definitely you keep it. You don't have to take anything I say for improvements in these videos if you don't want to improve what I'm saying. So I guess that's fine. I know this isn't the main focus of the series, but I do like how he went and got different versions of each weapon. So he's got a bot killer, flamethrower, a strange reserve shooter instead of a unique one to make it look better. And he's also got a vintage home wrecker, so there's a different quality there as well. And I do think that shows you really care about your loadout when you change all of your weapons as well as just your cosmetics. Because I know this series is mostly about cosmetics, but the weapons are kind of important sometimes as well. I'm honestly really struggling to think of items that work well with the burning bandana, which is kind of why I want to come to you guys that watch these videos to help this guy out, because I want to include it to try and help him and to suggest some other improvements that can be made to this loadout, but I am really struggling with this. I mean, I guess you could use the Filamental instead of the Foster's Facade, because, you know, the Filamental isn't used as much as the Apparition's Aspect, but it's basically a reskin of it. I think the Apparition's Aspect looks good, and I think the Filamental looks even better. I don't see too many people using it either, so, I mean, if you wanted to use that instead of the Foster's Facade, then that might be an improvement you can make there. So I guess instead of the Sub-Zero suit, you could use something like the Trickster's Turnout gear, the Lunatic's leathers, the suit. I don't think that would work that well though, but I don't know, just play around in loadout.tf and see what you can do with your loadout, see what looks good and see what items you like the most. I can't think of anything else other to say about this loadout than that, but if it was me, I would change most of it, to be honest. I know you said that you don't like the Foster Facade or the Sub-Zero suit, so you'd have to change them, but if it was me, I'd definitely get rid of the unusual and maybe trade it for a different one for Pyro. But if you like the burning bandana and you like the way it looks, then you keep it. But I wouldn't keep it if it was me. So anyway, that is going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. These videos are actually some of the longest videos I make on this channel, which is kind of weird, because I don't think I'd really be talking about 3 loadouts for this long. I know a lot of you guys are saying you want me to increase the amount of loadouts in each video, and I would if I could, but uploading a video that is like around 8 to 10 minutes takes hours for me. And if I make a video every single day, then taking a few hours out of that time just to upload a video is kind of just difficult and just annoying. It's really inconvenient, and it's why I don't really do it. That's why most of my videos are like 5 minutes long or something like that, because I don't want to make 10-minute long videos because they take forever to upload and stuff like that. So anyway, I hope you did enjoy this video. Please leave me some suggestions for the final pyro loadout that I showed you guys. I'd really like to help this guy out, but I can't think of many ideas myself. And yeah, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you did enjoy it. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, that's going to be it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.